Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. My name is Steffi, and in today's video we are talking all about finances. This is going to be a little bit of a personal video, and I do finally feel like I am ready to now talk about money. And if you know me personally, then you know obviously certain things are the way they are but I have never been one really good with money. I just feel like it's not in a way that I am privileged or anything like that. It's just more of the fact that I feel like whenever I've needed money, I've always been in a situation where I've been able to borrow money from people, and I feel like that's not really helped me in the long run to save and probably do things like that. So I'm just going to address certain things, because at the end of this video I actually become debt free, and it is just like the best feeling in the world. So I'll just give you a brief run round with certain things. Now, I have been working since I was 15 years old. I am almost 27. I turned 27 in March, and I have nothing behind me. I have no savings. And for me at this age, where certain people my age or younger have moved out and I still live at home, you know, I do pay my parents some kind of bits and pieces to kind of live here but it's not as much as what, say, certain people most probably pay, and for that I am very, very grateful. But also for that I do help around the house. So my parents have always said that, you know, like, help around the house and you know, you don't have to pay anything. But I feel like I'm at that stage where I've been earning for quite a while, you know, I should be giving back. So first, let's just talk. I first got a credit card, I think it was in 2018, purely to get my credit rating up. But now, when I first learned how to drive, I think I was 19 years old. I went to Florida when I was 22 in 2018. So I had a car. My parents very kindly put a deposit down on a car that I got on finance because I was in a job at the time. I was able to go for a car on finance, and they said, well, either, you know, buy your first car or we'll do a deposit thing. So I'm very, very grateful, and they've done that for my brother as well. I understand how kind of privileged that makes me sound, and I really don't want this to come across that I'm boasting or bragging by any means, because I know there are some people that, you know, they've had to get their own car and things like that, and I am very grateful that my parents have been in a situation where they could do that for me. At the end of the day, I just want to be very kind of honest and open, and a car being on finance just worked really well for me at the time. I think it was about £103 a month, and I had a little Hyundai i10, and it was great. It got me from A to B, it got me from work. It was really, really good. So that was building my credit rating up anyway, because I did know that I wanted to build a credit rating to begin with. I didn't want to get any of those, say like a Next card or Argos card or anything like that. I thought, no, let's put a car in finance, that's fine. So then obviously having a credit card, when I went to Florida, that was initially my spending money, and I had £1.5 on that credit card to spend. Now, it was 0% interest, and because I would never get a credit card where I have to pay interest, not when there's so many deals out there that are 0% interest. I don't understand why certain people go for credit cards where they have interest. Obviously different situations does kind of counteract that, and I completely understand that again, but for me, I never kind of looked for those deals. So that was my spending money, and then I was paying it off, it was all good, and then certain things happened because it didn't charge me to make purchases on it. I kind of got a bit carried away, and I was like, right, okay, you know, I'll just put this on here, but I'll pay it off. And it was certain things, so like car insurance, I never pay that monthly, I just pay that annually, and at the time I didn't have it in my bank from a payday from work. I just put it on the credit card, and I was like, right, okay, so it's gone down, but now it's gone back up because, you know, I've had to kind of do that. Then obviously COVID hit, and I was on furlough for, I think it was like 8 to 9 months, and I was very, very grateful that I was on furlough because that actually cleared that credit card. So I was very grateful for that. It was great, and that was just gone, and I felt so amazing as soon as that credit card went. Prior to COVID in 2020, I think it was, at the end of 2020 or near the end, I think it was around September time, I actually took out another credit card before that. This one had a limit spend of £4,000. I went to London in 2020, I think it was around September time, yeah, it was September, and I enrolled in a makeup artistry course. Now this was a little bit over £4,000, this course, so obviously I got that credit card, and that paid for that course, well, majority of the course. I thought, right, okay, this is something that I want to do again, and instead of saving up or have it in savings, because I didn't, I put it on another credit card because I got rid of one and thought, you know what, let's just go again and you know, build my credit up again. Prior to this, I did also have another car on finance. I traded in my Hyundai. I got a Citroen DS3, I think it was, and I had that on finance as well. I just felt like at the time cars on finance just worked out really well for me. So I did that, and I didn't realise how much interest was added on for the cars. I was young, I was naive, I had no idea. I didn't need cars on finance, but that's just the way that I did, and that's something that I now look back on and be like, yeah, maybe for your first one that's great, build up your credit, but then eventually you don't necessarily need a car on finance, or if that works for you, then it works for you. So again, with that £4,000, I was paying that off. I was getting very close. I think it was around £3,000 or just under £3,000 that I got it down to, and then my 0% interest was running out. So I transferred this card over to a different account. I think it was with Santander that I then chose to go with. I can't remember who it was before. I don't know if it was Barclays or whoever, but I went over to Santander, who I actually bank with anyway, for this credit card. And this one, I made sure that it was a 0% interest one, but if I made any purchases, it would charge me. So I thought, right, okay, I'm gonna do this one because I'm then not gonna spend on my credit card. Now again, I found that this really worked for me. Some people, you know, might find it work for you or not. The hard thing is that you don't know the way the world is going. COVID, for example, you know, the pandemic that we was in, there was certain situations that can't be helped. But to me, I look at credit cards as kind of like monopoly money and not really my money. So that is how I was looking at it, and if I did make a purchase, it was going to charge me 23% interest, and I thought, I am not doing it. I am not doing any purchases on it. And I got it down to, I think it was, well, middle of this year, I got it down to 1,300 from just under 3,000, which was, I was really happy with. You know, when I was getting paydays, I was like, right, okay, I'm going to put this chunk onto there, I'm going to put 300, 500 on here. If I did any extra jobs or anything, then, you know, the money was going on there, which was amazing. Prior to this, I did also have another car on finance. I went for my third car on finance, and it is what it is at the end of the day. You know, this is just kind of how I learned it. And I traded in my Citroen, a 2018 Renault Captur Reg, and it was great. I loved it, and I actually realised that the interest on that was £1,500, and I just thought, okay, at the time I thought, it's going to be amazing, this is going to be my family car once I pay it off, because this is the one that I decided to pay it off. Once it's paid off, it's then mine. I don't trade it back or anything like that, because if you know, with cars on finance, there are certain different things that you can do. You can either trade it in for another one, give it back once it's done, once you've paid, or pay it off and then you get to keep it. So that's the one that I decided to do, because I thought, it's going to be great, it's going to be a family car, it's a nice big car, lovely. And then I thought, I'm in no frame of mind or at that stage of my life where I'm ready for a family anytime soon. I don't want it yet. That's a bit of a silly error. And my boyfriend Shane actually sat down and said to me quite a while ago, like, why do you have this? Why don't you just sell the car, pay off the finance, and, you know, do whatever and just get something else? And I thought, no, you know, it's fine. And then I recently got a job, I think it was in May this year, and it was a situation where I walk to work. I literally live 5 minutes up the road. I don't need a car necessarily. I know the weather's getting a bit rubbish now, but I didn't need a car. And it was just sat there. I'm paying for it monthly. I'm paying £157 a month for it to sit on my drive. And I thought, it's just silly, really. I don't need it. So I sold the car on, and I sold it for just over £10,000. I went to Arnold Clark in Southampton. They were great. They just bought the car. Fantastic, perfect. I think it was like £10,350. And the finance that I had on it was £5,980 or 50 or whatever it was. So it was just under £6,000. So what I did was, obviously I paid off the car finance. I then had just over £4,000, and I had my credit card. Now, my credit card that originally had the £4,000 on got down to £1,300, and I cleared it, and it was the best feeling ever. The best feeling. And then last but not least, I actually took out another finance this year, and I got Invisalign. I got Invisalign back in, when was it? Was it July? I think it was July time. And I have them in now and everything, and in total it cost me £3,500. Again, I decided to go for the finance monthly until I was able to pay off the remaining. It was 0% interest if I did it in a year, and monthly it is, or was, £266 and something pence a month. So when you work it out, with my current job that I had, it was, you know, £157 with my car going out, £266 with my teeth, so to speak, and then obviously anything extra. So I pay for Specsavers because I wear glasses and contact lenses. That's £13 a month. I give some money to my parents, like I said. And to be honest, I don't really pay for anything else. I think the only other things that I do pay is my Skin and Me prescription, which, you know, varies from £20 to £50 depending on what kind of time it is with getting the extra skincare and everything and bits and pieces like that. But I don't really have many other finance things. My phone bill is £16 a month because I've gone SIM only. That did used to be £50-60 a month in a contract, and I ain't here for that anymore with phone contracts. That is way too expensive for any phone. So I've gone SIM only, £16 a month. I've done changes like that, which has really, really helped. But with my teeth, 3,500 originally. I think it was down to 2,000 something, just £2,166 or something like that. And I also cleared that. I just wanted to address it that I'm very open with things, and if you know me personally, you know that I had a car on finance, I paid for my Invisalign on finance, and I had a credit card. I've actually had 2 credit cards before. The first one, luckily, I was able to pay off with remaining furlough back in the day, and then this one was for my makeup artist course, and then transferred over bits and pieces, blah blah blah. Because I've now sold my car, I've paid off that finance, I had spare money left over, like, cause I made a little bit more than what my finance was due, and I've just paid off the remaining of my teeth, which was just over £2,000, and I've just cleared my credit card, which was £1,300, and I've been very open and honest because this is the way it is, and this is like the best feeling ever, and I've just had a cry, and this is honestly just like the best feeling ever. I'm always one for a sucker for finance, and I actually, with my car finance, there was interest on top of that. With my teeth one, it wasn't. I was just paying £266 monthly, and the remaining was 2,133 and 28p. And I've cleared that now, and I still have money to get another car, start scratch. So all of my direct debits, finance wise, that I had is now my money that I'm going to receive, and I just wanted to kind of address this as like a milestone. It sounds really cringe to some people, but credit cards are such a thing, and debt is such a thing, and I've always struggled with money as it is, and now this is like a new chapter, and it may shock some people because some people may be a lot better, but just the way that I am with certain things may not be the same as you. Yeah, I just wanted to come on and just it's the best thing. And I actually like got my camera there. I'm actually doing a kind of little video based on it as well, and I just feel like so much weight has been lifted off my shoulders, and now I'm finally adult. No, it is what it is. I'm just, yeah. I try not to cry again because it's just such a thing. Yeah. So I'm not gonna get a credit card anymore because I don't need one. I have no reason to need one, none whatsoever. My money is my money now. I'm just so excited, I'm so happy. And I'm gonna be late for work if I don't get ready, so hope everyone has a good day. I'm gonna go to the gym after work, celebrate. Have a good day, everyone. So because obviously I had the remaining car money and the credit card. Obviously that 4,000 and something didn't kind of counteract both, so obviously when I got paid that month as well, that kind of counteracted and put money towards another car. Now I do have another little car. It's just a 2006 Reg. It's a little mini convertible, very, very nice, very cute, gets me from A to B, which is great. It was something that I just needed to get me somewhere if I need to, and I got it from a family friend. I paid £600 for it because it needs a new battery, which we paid for. Again, I think that came to 200 and something or 100 and something. It's going in for an MOT as we speak tomorrow, I believe, and it's just bits and pieces like that. So, you know, I mean, it's a very good deal that I got, which I'm very grateful for. So at the end of the day, with obviously all finances and everything, it is really good for building credit, but it can also make you stop and feel things. Like, I felt monthly my wages weren't fully mine. You know, obviously I knew situations, I had the materialistic things, so, you know, I had the car, I've got my teeth, you know, things like that. But at the same time, I felt like every time I was getting my wages through with work, that money isn't fully mine. I then also had situations where I felt so bad and so crap every day because I wanted to put money into savings. I have a lifetime ISA that I have about £1,500 in, which I was able to still do and am still paying into now, but I just felt like I would much rather just paid off my credit card first rather than put money away, which I know to some people that sounds really, really strange and silly, and where if it's like, oh, at least if it's £50 in there, it's still something. And that's what I was doing. That was what my mindset was. Even if it was £10 that month, you know, I did have a spending situation, I must admit. I am one to splurge, which you may see with my many hauls that I have on this channel, but I just feel like that, you know, life is too short. At the same time, you can still pay things off, you can still have things on finance, and you can still save. At the same time, you just have to figure out what works for you. Budgeting is now such a big thing for me, and that is something that I'm really, really looking forward to, because now knowing that everything that I get monthly in my wage is mine, I can now sit and properly kind of live my life, until obviously I go down the route of getting a mortgage and moving out and things like that and being an adult and everything. The fact that anything that I now earn is mine and like fully mine is the best feeling, and I cannot express it enough. The other thing that I find as well, like with credit cards, they are good for building your credit rating, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, I feel like when I was putting money on there, if I needed it as emergency money or something, I couldn't get that money back, whereas in savings, you can transfer it to and from, and that was something that I was very, very bad with, that, you know, I was like, oh, it's fine, I can just transfer it from my savings, and then I never was able to build into my savings. I've had a Monzo account, and I am going to go back into that as well, because I really like, it's kind of like aesthetically pleasing. This is probably the wrong mindset, but I like having my own little pots, like one for house, one for Florida, because I want to go back to Florida, I want to still be able to do things, you know, and it's just like one for Christmas, one for like gifts, you know, things like that. That's quite nice and satisfying. I feel like I'm very one of those people where I just have to have everything planned and prepped. Give me a notepad, you know, and pens and everything, and I have to just do things that way. I've never gone into my overdraft, and if I have, it's only been for a day. Luckily my overdraft is only £10, and if I go over a day or anything with it, it does charge me, and I think I've only ever done it once by accident because I've been waiting for payday to come through, but that's it. So I've not luckily ever been one that has been like living in my overdraft or anything like that. I've always made sure that when I signed up with my bank, I would be like, look, £10 is the limit, so I know every time I look in my bank there is £10 less than what's in there. That's what I kind of like to see, because I feel like if I didn't have an overdraft, I don't really know how it works, so to speak, but I feel that, you know, you'd be charged a lot more. I really, really hate owing people money, and that is just something that, again, I feel like I've had to learn, and I'm grateful that there are people around me that would lend me money and do lend me money when I need it, but I just hate knowing that I'm in debt, you know, and it's so hard, because I just feel like it is just a vicious circle, how you just go around from, you know, being in such a comfortable situation where there are people available to me that I can just borrow money, but then I always pay them back. It's not as if I never pay them back, because I'm not that person, and I've had it done to me before where I've lent literally £10 to someone, or £20, I can't even remember how much it was, and it took the person 2 months to pay it back. And I'm not saying, you know, like that I'm judging or anything, but when you see them going out on nights out, or, you know, going out and buying certain things that are way over £20, it just kind of feels like a bit of a kick in the face sometimes to be like, well, if you know you had that money and you know you're in debt with someone, just surely for your own frame of mind it would be a lot better to just pay them back. But that's a whole different story that we're not touching on today. The fact that my wages are my own now is honestly just the best feeling, and this I'm just closing down now as well, that I am actually starting a brand new job beginning of December, and I'm on a much higher wage than I was on previously, and knowing that obviously I will be getting more monthly, and just honestly just the best feeling that I don't owe any finances, and that I can now sit there and put majority of my wage into savings. Don't get me wrong, I am still going to be able to go on holidays, I am still going to do the odd kind of splurge if I need to. I've got tattoos planned for next year that I want to get. I'm not going to completely restrict myself, and this was something I was actually talking to my boyfriend last night about, that, you know, I was sat there with a bit of a guilt, like that I want to go in and book tattoos because I absolutely love my tattoos and I've got so many ideas, and I sat there feeling like, oh, you know, I could spend about £250 on, you know, however many tattoos, but then that could go into my savings, or that could be a holiday. And then he sat there and said, but if that's something that you want to do it at the end of the day. You know, that's something you want, do it. You don't get it done every day or every month, you know, God, can you imagine? And yeah, I felt so much more at ease, and I thought, do you know what, yeah, I'm gonna do that. So yeah, what a way to kind of start to end of the year, to have a brand new year for 2023. I'm debt free, I'm going into a new job that's a higher pay wage, and I feel like I just really deserve it. I feel like this has been a long time coming, and I'm just so grateful. And I wanted to be completely open, and I'm really sorry if this video has come across in any way, because I really don't want it to. I am trying to just showcase all my real life things, and that's what I'm doing on this channel. It's all about inner kind of growth at the end of the day, and I feel like I've grown so much. If you know me personally outside of work, this has been such a big achievement for me, and I feel like it's been a very long time coming, and I just feel like I now am beginning to live my life the way I want to. I know I'm almost 27, and there are certain people a lot younger than me or my age, and they've achieved so much more, but at the end of the day, I don't think, or I don't like the pressure around the world where everyone has to have certain things done by a certain time frame, and that is just the way that I'm living it. And I just wanted to be open and honest, because I know there is going to be people out there that have either found this video or clicked on this video, or it's been recommended, and you can relate to it. And that's what I just wanted to be. I wanted to be relatable, and I just wanted to kind of justify that. And I hope this has kind of helped, or put a little bit mind at ease, and just at the end of the day, just say you're not alone. And yeah, so that is the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you would like to, but when you do, make sure you hit that notification bell, and then that way you'll be notified for when I next upload. And I'll see you guys in a brand new video soon.